go. Oh wow. In this video, we are going to be installing a universal electric antenna. I purchased this off of Amazon. I think it was like 49 bucks. You can see it comes with some hardware and some grommets. Looks very similar to our factory antenna that came out of our Pontiac 2002 Trans Am. It has very similar mounting holes on the bottom for our bracket, so we're going to see if that interchanges. Hopefully we'll be able to use our drain tube the same. I was really trying to use this motor because it looks like they all bolt up the same, but after taking this motor off, whatever drives it is a little different. It's like there's gear drives here where the gear drives, it just doesn't, it won't interchange. Let's just leave it at that. This is the antenna that I have been using. Once my electric motor went out, I went to the junkyard and just got a standard antenna that you would thread on. I got tired of taking the long antenna off every time I wanted to put a car cover on it when I was parking it outside. Then I bought this mini one, which looked cool and fit a lot of my needs, but every time I wanted to listen to the radio, now it was junk and I couldn't because I have just a standard radio in the car. I have no way of hooking up, or not easily hooking up, a USB, Bluetooth, or anything. And I don't know if I have any plans of putting a double DIN in it anytime soon. So saying that, our antenna is there, so I got to reverse what I did. We're going to take out this cover, which I don't know the proper name for it. It just pops on out. Move out the way, and we're going to get a screwdriver, move these, get this cover off, probably detach our speaker that's here, and then we need to get the spare tire out of the way. Fairly simple to remove. I will leave my speaker hooked up. So now I think I'm gonna go ahead and remove this jack, which is threaded on with this little T handle, and once I have the jack out the way, then I'll unthread the spare tire and get out of the way. And you know what, while it's out, let's check the air pressure. That came out fairly easy. It does look like our air pressure is a little low, so we'll top that off before we reinstall it. Now we're at our bracketry. Looks like we got a 10mm bolt there, and we'll figure out how to get that out. And then we have our antenna that just unplugs. That's awesome. All right, so let's get that out. That was actually really simple. So it was just a 10mm bolt. Then the garment is actually kind of fitted on how this nub is. I was able to push it up to kind of unseat itself here, get that out. Then I was able to pull it off of that. And then this did have to pull out from the bottom because this end is too big to fit through there, unless it fits through a slot. Oh, it does. So that would have worked. I could have pulled everything out from the top. From what I understand, I'm probably going to be reusing this, but we will see. We have an assortment of garments. We're going to have to figure out what wires to hook up to here. And see, the previous owner did some stuff like this. I don't know what is this. I have two of them. What is this? What's factory? What's not? So that's going to be some figuring out. Next thing I had to do was take the bracket off of the OEM antenna and mocked it up onto this antenna. The holes needed to be egg shaped a little bit. First thing I did is I tried using a unibit that I went up, it wasn't this one, it was this one. This one stepped it up to 1/4 inch. That was still slightly undersized, so then I egg shaped it with our Dremel tool here. You can see our bit on there, and just use a Sharpie to outline which way I needed to go. And now the holes line up pretty good. They're a little bit big, which is fine. The factory OEM screws that came out of this unit fits in this one, and they have a large washer head on it, so that'll work. So I'm gonna get that mounted up. There's a little side bracket I'm gonna try to use that connects to the bottom hole that mounts to the motor, which I assume just helps with the grounding point. See if we can use that, and then we'll try to use this drain. So here's the latest. We got our drain tube on. It is loose on this nipple here, so I just got a zip tie on it. It's not coming off easily, so I'm okay with that. Next is we got our bracket on. This bracket that connects like this grounding strap to the motor, it's a little bit short, so what I did is I took some pliers and I like extended all the bends as far as I could, opened up the top, and put this under a washer. So now it's grounded from here to here. And next is I took the bracket that had a grounding strap and flip it over. Here's a grounding strap that's going to ground to where the antenna mounts. It originally was made to go around the motor, which the factory one has a grounding strap here, but I was like, you know what? I did some bending and used the original screw and mounted it to it also. So I figured it can't hurt. That's what I'm going for. Just trying to present, take any type of interference that could happen or make this motor live a little longer. So that's where we're at. I think we're about ready to put it in the car and start fitting up here and our mounting point here. I can already tell like certain things are just like a 1/4 inch longer than everything else. So we'll see how that goes. So we have our wiring done. We're doing orange for constant power to our red, green for our signal from our radio to the blue, and then of course black is ground, so all is cut to length. Next I had to take a unibit and open up this hole, which is our grounding strap for our unit, which is just the extra thing that we took off our OEM antenna, which we had to open it up so our mounting bracket bolt will go through it. So now it'll fit through there. For our spacing everything, so far I had this little knurl, I guess you can say, that actually fits tight on the antenna like that. We have the the garment, I guess you say, a little plastic garment that actually came on this, fit good. But it's, you can see it's already stacked in there. And then I'm trying this spacer, and I'll let y'all know if this works. And it looks like it's going to fit something like this on the car. And then we got a nut that's going to lock everything in. So let's go fit this to the car and see if everything I just told you is accurate. Okay, so here's our end product. It actually looks really good. Not too excited about the chrome, or what you want to call it, the fake chrome, but it's better than having an antenna I got constant take on and off. You can see it's pretty flush, barely anything different from the factory. So this is what we have going on inside. We got our drain tube, which is exits right there. We got our grounding strap, we plugged in perfect. Our color codes are different, so I don't know if this is, I got some parts or spare parts from another F body. I don't know if maybe this is the pigtail off of that electric motor or not. I did test it out. I don't have something hooked up correctly because I don't have power to my signal, but it could be the aftermarket radio doesn't support that, so we're going to have to investigate that. Other than that, next is going to be hooking up our antenna, which I don't know what I want to do because it has this threaded portion and I really don't want to run a whole nother coax. So it's something I'm going to figure out now, and especially since I got these, like surely I would be able to adapt something, and I don't know what's on there's electrical tape, so I'm going to figure out too. But all right, so I'm going to do some digging and I'll let y'all know what I come up with. So we took electrical tape off. It's about what I thought was going on. He had spliced this to have a female in. I'm assuming he had one of these electric antennas in here at one time also. There's always been some interesting stuff with this car that I haven't been able to pinpoint. I don't know if it was flipped or whatever. I did run the RPO codes on it from a dealership. It is a WS6, so I mean, once I got past that, I quit chasing it. But I'm going to clean this up. I might solder it, do some heat shrink. I'm going to try to make it look a little better. But let me take you to inside the car. One of the advantages is T-top. Go ahead and just remove that for easy access. So as you can see, I got this rat's nest of wiring. This radio does not support power antenna, but what I did was I spliced into my remote wire, which is for your amp, which generally when you turn your radio off will take away our 12-volt signal. We'll test that, and that will lower your antenna, because you want this antenna lower in case you go in the car wash, like one of those automatic ones, so you don't rip your antenna off. Another thing we got going on, I have forgot all this mess that I did in this car. I got some type of amplifier thing going on for the antenna. I got this dual coax input going on for the antenna, and I kind of tested it. I think it works. We're going to test it again. But yeah, I'm going to zip tie this up a little bit and organize a little more. But now, once I've explained how we splice this and what we got going on, let's turn the radio on and see how everything's working. All right, we're going to turn our key on. Hopefully our antenna mass raises. If I can do this one-handed, there we go. There we go. Oh wow, that's huge. We'll get outside the car and look at that in a second. All right, let me see how this thing's doing on reception. For copyright issues, I won't be able to play music long if it is playing. If it's a commercial, I'll probably be okay. That's turn that off. Now let me do some scanning and see how we scan. Yeah, we got good signal on that one. Oh yeah, we're getting some
in front of millions of people.
Oh yeah, okay, I think we're in business. So I'm gonna leave all this hooked up. Let me take you outside the car and look at this antenna fully extended. So here is the antenna fully extended. I imagine that's about 3 feet, I guess. Lower this so you can see it. It's about, oh yeah, it sticks up about a foot higher than the car. That's actually, would probably get really good reception. Pretty happy with that. Now let's go back in and turn the radio off and make sure that our theory of this lowering will do what we think. So we're in the car. I have the radio off. The antenna mass is down. I figured out off camera, you hit this button, turns it on. Our antenna is rising. It's a little noisy, not gonna lie. Not that smooth. Ugh, sounds kind of rough, but I don't really care as long as it works. And off. Now let's see, I got to hold it. And boom, it is going down. All right, so let me. Ooh, man, that sounds rough. So I am going to put everything back together and zip tie and go ahead and close this up. And I got to fix that coax in the back. So we got everything back together. I mean, nothing's really changed. Pretty happy with it. The interior went back together as it came out. Like I said, everything works off of the radio's system remote wire, which is the same wire you'll use for an amplifier, which all radios usually have a system remote wire. Go ahead and close out this video here. Hopefully that helped somebody. It's something I put off. I didn't know it was so simple. I mean, I probably got 2 or 3 hours in it, but I had to fix some other stuff that's my doing from before. If I would have just removed the old broken antenna and would have reinstalled this one, probably been a little bit shorter. And I wasn't trying to, do it really fast. I was more doing it to be professional, I guess you can say, and just really was a real well done system. So if you like this video, please hit the like button. It is below this video here. Just a thumbs up. And if you could subscribe, I really appreciate it. And on to the next one. In this video, we are going to be installing a universal